Hey there, little explorers. Welcome. Are you ready for a really heartwarming story? We're going to find out how a simple, plain old stone can bring a whole village together, and not just to fill their tummies, but to fill their hearts too.
So, have you ever heard of a magical soup? Well, let's dive right in. Picture this, a tiny little village covered in snow. A mysterious traveler is about to show up with just a pot, a fire, and a super-duper special recipe idea. You see, in our story, the snow came way, way too early that year. The folks in the village didn't have enough food saved up for the long winter, and as the snow got deeper and deeper, all the families started to get really worried. And with all that worry, a sadness started to fill their hearts. The moms and dads were especially worried about their kids. Almost everyone just stayed inside their houses, trying to stay warm. It was a pretty lonely time in the village. But then, one super cold morning, a mysterious traveler showed up right in the middle of the village square. He had a big old pot and a plan that nobody could have ever guessed. Okay, so here's what he did. First, he built a big, crackling fire. Then he put his huge pot on top and filled it with snow, which melted right down into bubbling water. And then, get this, he pulled out a big, smooth stone and plunk, dropped it right into the pot. You can bet the neighbors started peeking out their windows to see what was going on.
You can just imagine, right? People started whispering to each other. What could that old man be doing? I mean, they'd never seen anything like it. Who stirs a pot with just water and a rock in it?
While finally, one neighbor was just too curious to stay inside. She walked right up to the traveler and asked him the question everyone was thinking.
And the traveler? He just smiled this calm, friendly smile and said, "I'm making stone soup." Can you believe it? Stone soup? All the villagers who were gathering around were like, "What? A soup made from a stone? No way, that sounds impossible." So the traveler, he dips his ladle in, takes a little taste, and goes, delicious. But then he sighs and says, "But it would be even better with an onion, or maybe a carrot." He had this little twinkle in his eye. He was planting a little seed of an idea. And right away, someone shouted, "Onions! I have onions!" And just like that, they dashed home and brought back onions to toss into the pot. So cool. Then someone else piped up, "Carrots! I've got carrots!" And boom, bright orange carrots went into the pot too. You could just feel the excitement starting to bubble up, just like the soup. The traveler takes another taste. It's getting good, he says. Really good. But you know what would make it even better? Some potatoes, or maybe a bit of pumpkin. And that's when the real magic started to happen. Seriously? Someone ran to get potatoes. An old woman brought a pumpkin, then came more veggies, some greens, even some pasta. Everyone started bringing whatever little bit they had to share. Okay, so finally, the traveler takes one last big taste. His eyes totally light up and he shouts, "This is the most delicious stone soup I've ever tasted in my life." And you know what? Everyone cheered. They were so happy. Then he said, "Bring your bowls. There's enough for everyone." And they did. All the neighbors ran to get their bowls. And soon, the whole village was eating this warm, yummy soup together. And the craziest part, the soup seemed endless. It was like the pot would never be empty. There was more than enough for every single family, for all the kids, for everyone. So after everyone had eaten and their tummies were full, they looked around to thank the kind traveler. But where did he go? He was gone. He had just vanished, as mysteriously as he'd appeared. And you know what he left behind? Just the huge pot, the ladle, and there, at the very bottom, the stone. And that's when it clicked for everyone. The stone itself, it was just a simple rock. The real magic, that wasn't in the stone at all. The real magic was everyone sharing and being kind to each other. And from that day on, the village learned a really important lesson. They figured out that when they come together and help each other out in tough times, they can get through anything. Wow, it's just so good to be kind and generous, isn't it? It's like a special kind of magic that we all have inside of us, ready to make something amazing happen. So, little explorers, that brings us to a final question for you. What can you share today? It doesn't have to be something big.
It could be a smile, or helping someone out, or just saying something nice. What's one little thing you can do to share your own magic?